another one. Boom, boom, boomer. 3-star. OKPrep agenda continues, remains active. Soon as pick up another in-state guy. And we talk about this ad nauseum here on the channel because those borders are getting locked down. We're going to dive into this. Alexander Shield Knight has decided that Oklahoma is the place for this edge. Miguel Chavis does it again. He's searching nationwide and locally, bringing in some of the best talent in Oklahoma as we prepare to go into the SEC. And so we got to talk about the excitement we have about another in-state talent picking the Sooners over the competition like Arkansas, Texas Tech, Kansas, Tennessee. Big name schools wanted him. He decided that home is where the heart is. And so we're going to talk about that. So let's dive into some film. Let's dive into what Oklahoma's doing in the 2025 class, because he's a 2025 classer as well. This is the third one we've gotten in the last, 7 days? Let's talk about it. Before we do that, welcome to Unfair Sports. I'm your host, Jay. Thanks for pulling up to the channel. Let's dive into Alexander Shield Knight, man. I'm pretty excited about this one. He's a young, raw talent, 6'3", 220. We're going to look at the full measurables and everything. But he's one of those players that he jumps off the screen when you watch him play, and he plays at small school Wagner, but it don't matter. We're keeping the in-state players in because this is basically an announcement out there, man. As Oklahoma keeps growing in talent, the goal is the Sooners to bring all of them in and let them travel around the SEC and be seen without having to go to an SEC school to feel like they need to be seen. Oklahoma's doing that for them. And so let's go ahead and look at the measurables. Let's talk about Alexander. Let's talk about the 2025 class and how it's progressed. All right, y'all see these numbers. 6'3", 220. Alexander Shield Knight out of Wagner, Oklahoma. And I'm going to keep it a buck, man. I am excited that the Sooners are really focusing in state. We talked about this with the last set of regimes, that Oklahoma was not really focusing in state, trying to get the in-state talent, get the local talent or whatnot. And what are we seeing now? It's exactly what we're getting out of the Sooners today. They're going after the players locally that they can get their hands on. They're focusing on guys that we know that if we win, it could be big. Like I said, Tennessee was after him, Arkansas, Texas Tech. Of course, Oklahoma State's trying to go after in-state guys, but he's starting to get picked up by some SEC teams. He's not a big camp guy, but he's a big guy. Size-wise, he's pretty nice. Top 10 in the state of Oklahoma. And this is what's crazy. I'm going to show this before we dive into his film. Y'all know that the Sooners are it's like 10 players, 10 or 12 players. Like, Oklahoma's got some talent this in the 2025 class, and we're either leading or winning on at least 80% of them. A couple players we missed out on, but it's because we got other players already. At the same time, it's a chance we can still pull them back in. I'm just saying, the Sooners are targeting these local talent as well as going nationwide. The goal is to show that Oklahoma is here, baby. And so just looking at him on the field, his sophomore year, I don't have his junior year stats yet, but as a sophomore, 83 tackles, 21 tackles for a loss, and 12 sacks. That's pretty darn good. And he's big, he's agile, he can move, he's a ball hawk. And that's kind of one of the most important things is we're looking at those players that like to hit. Y'all know we talk about this ad nauseum here, that we want hitters. We want guys with high motors, ones that don't stop. And we're seeing that out of the talent that we're going after. And so you add a player like Shield Knight with all of the top talent that we're bringing in from this 24 class, like a Danny Okoye, like a Nigel Smith, Wyatt Gilmore. So we're going out of state trying to get their top players while also keeping our in-state top players here. And the agenda's working. You know, you come off of a 6-7 season, finish with the top 5 class. That tells me that no matter what, you're going to bring talent. The kids are seeing the vision. They see what you're trying to produce. They see what you're trying to make. And with Shield Knight, he gets low. Look at him with the 4 technique. Got the 2 hands down. He can get around those tackles, edges. He causes pressure, and he doesn't stop going. even if it doesn't look like he has a chance, he's creating an opportunity for himself. And so he's going to be part of that long line of edge men that who's going to just keep putting pressure on not only the quarterback, but the running back. He's going to make the running game tough. He can stuff. 6'3", 220 as a sophomore, in his junior year, that's a big boy, and all he's going to do is get bigger. He's got the frame for it at 6'3". You could see him getting up to 280 and still remaining fast and just strong. He may just be 250. You never know. But he can catch. But the hands that he's got on this, man. Look, what Oklahoma's trying to do on the defensive line is build up something we haven't really seen in a while. Building up that technique. Building up those players, like I said, high motors. Building up those players that want to cause and be disruptive. That's what you need, man. That's what you need if you want to be successful. And he's playing out there at Wagner, a small school, but it's a little country outside of Tulsa. So he's just naturally strong, probably working out in the yard on a regular basis. And so those guys don't stop going. And he looks like it on the field. And that's the thing I love the most about him is that he knows how, even if it appears he's getting beat, he's still going. He's going to get around the guy. He's going to disrupt things. And this year we've seen that out of the Sooners. The defensive line may not have a lot of sacks, but they're very disruptive. They're forcing teams to throw the ball a lot sooner than they want to. And then when the coverage is there, they're forcing them to throw the ball away. And so as we grow on the line, you're going to start seeing a lot more sacks. You're going to see constant disruption. And that is what Chavis and Bates and Venables promote in the way that they rush and the pressures they put on quarterbacks. And he's one of those players I feel like can add to that. Keeping in-state talent is key. Players like him, as well as even walk-ons, as we continue to add those, they're important bodies, man. They're important bodies for what you're trying to develop. And so with the 25 class, this is what? Player number 7 in our 2025 class that it appears that we're trying to make sure that we have like all of our, player number 8. We're trying to make sure that we have every single recruit for 2025 before we even finalize the 2024 class. You can't beat that, right? You can't beat the urgency that they're creating with some of these recruits where they're saying, nah, I think I'm good. I see what you're doing. We're here. I want to go ahead and stay in state. I want to stay at home where my family be able to see me easily. And we're going to ball out. So it's one of the things I never get mad at a kid that decides to stay close to home because I understand. Sometimes you want to make it easier for family to come and see you. Good thing here is Oklahoma, man. We're going to be national all the time. We're a nationwide brand. We're a big brand. And so all we're going to do is keep getting better. So y'all see Alexander, hop in the comments. Let your boy know what's your thoughts. How you feeling about Oklahoma and this OKPrep agenda? How we're keeping Oklahoma players in state? Would love to hear from you all and get your thoughts. If you made it this far, you like the content, hit the like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. We're dropping out a bunch of content, man. We're getting back into the roll of things, and this weekend's going to be huge. A lot of recruits are going to be in town. We'll drop a video to talk about who we know is going to be pulling up. Man, this is a big weekend. So a victory is always going to be great, but hopefully we can get a commitment or two while they're in town. So YouTube says check out one of these videos. I highly recommend it because they're about more recruits. So let's dive into it. We'll talk soon. Peace.